Hi everybody, this is Randy from Randy's Crafty Creations, and I wanted to come to you today to show you how I made this cute little easel post-it note holder that can sit on your desktop. I sent this out to all of my customers and all of my card swap members for the month of April, just to show them how much I appreciated them and just to give them a little pick-me-up during this time. So I just wanted to show you how I made this one. I thought it was really cute. So let me go ahead and push this aside. We are going to be using the Above the Clouds stamp set. Now this stamp set is retiring in our occasions catalog. It will be retiring the end of May, but as of right now, today, which is May 7th, it is still available and should still be available through May 22nd because we manufacture our own stamps. So we're going to use that stamp set. And inside that stamp set are these clouds. All right, so we have these clouds. And let me go ahead and, because my stamp's been sitting on my desk, so let me just, in case there's any dust on it. And we're going to use these balloon pieces in the basket. I already have one cut out here, but I'm going to show you how I did that. Right, I'll make sure these are in the camera. Okay, so I'm going to be using those. I'm going to be using my Versamark ink. I am going to be using... For colors, I'm going to be using Gorgeous Grape, Purple Posy, and Balmy Blue. Now, Purple Posy, the ink was pulled early on because they found that the ink did not stand up over time. I do notice that it is a little blotchy right here on my balloon. It didn't blend well together. So I would rather Stampin' Up! Go ahead and not sell something that they couldn't get to do what they wanted it to do. So I'm fine with it. I have it. Like I said, it's a little blotchy, but I'm okay with that. So I'm going to go ahead and use it. And we're going to do some heat embossing today, as well as some blending. So here's what I already made. So what I did is I stamped the clouds in my Versamark. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. And I just wanted a whole bunch of clouds. So I'm just going to stamp, and I'm using my Stampin' Pierce mat, which is also discontinuing the end of May. I'm not quite sure why, because it gives extra cushion for our photopolymer stamps, but Stampin' Up! Has a good reason, and we will wait and see what is coming. So I stamped that 3 times on there, and you probably can't see it. That's okay. Let me close this up and move it away. All right, and then I'm going to take my white embossing powder, and I just keep them in a container, and I probably have like 2 or 3 jars of our Stampin' Up! Embossing powder inside here. But this is how I keep it, so that I can just hold it over the embossing powder and go ahead and put it on. Make sure it's all covered. Okay, you probably can't see that, but that's okay, because you'll be able to see it once we ink it with the blue. All right, so we'll go ahead and leave that there and close this, put my spoon back in it, and move it aside. All right, so let me go ahead and get my heat embossing tool, and we're going to heat that up, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to do some inking, and that's when we will see these clouds appear. So I'm using our Stampin' Up! Tool. It has 2 heat settings. No, you cannot use a hairdryer. It is a special heat tool that will go ahead and melt our embossing powder and leave us with a nice raised embossed image that we can then ink around, or, you know, depending on what color you did it, you could just leave it. But it gives it a nice raised image here. There we go. It just takes a couple minutes for the embossing powder to start to melt. I don't know if you can see what's going on the camera, but it'll just be a moment. It'll all be melted. Some people emboss from the top, some people emboss from the bottom, some people move it back and forth. Really, just let it heat up and just be patient. I'm going to turn it around to get the side that was near my fingers so that my fingers don't burn. I also like our heat gun because it has this protective plastic piece. This is not hot, which is nice. I'm going to go ahead and hang this next to me. All right, so I don't know if you can see that, but my embossing powder is all set in there Okay, and nice and glossy. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Balmy Blue, and I'm going to take one of the makeup brushes. So I got these on Amazon. They're just generic makeup brushes for small things. So I have a big one and a little one in all my color families. For small things, I like to use the little one. For this, I'm going to go ahead and use the big one. So I'm just going to go ahead and rub in the ink, wipe it off on my paper, and then go ahead and blend it into my background piece. And you see how the clouds are coming out? They're just standing out there. There we go. And that piece is done and ready for my hot air balloons. Let me go ahead and close up the sink and put it aside. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put that aside. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and stamp our hot air balloon. I'm gonna do that in the Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Now, I stamped it on a piece of scrap earlier, and I used the punch to punch it out. Okay, and then what I did is I laid my template on top so I would know where to stamp, so that I know I can punch one time. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay this on top here. Okay, I'm gonna get my black my black Memento Tuxedo ink. All right, and this is the hot air balloon that I'm gonna use. So we go ahead and ink that up. And I'm just gonna hold that down. Yes, you can use the Stamparatus, and if I were making a whole bunch of these, I would. Okay, so there's my hot air balloon. And I messed that up, but that's okay, because with our Whisper White paper, we can just turn it over and go again. So I like when I mess up on camera, so you guys can see how easy it is to fix your mistake. And I'm going to try, please excuse my head if it gets in. I'm just trying to make sure I get it in my template there. Okay, I got it that time. Let me get my little basket. My hot air balloon. I'm inking that up, and I'm going to stick it here in my little basket hole. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to take my template away. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get my little flags for the balloon. Stick that on there. All right, and now I'm going to go ahead and color it in. So I am done with my black. All right, I'm going to get my purple posy, and I'm going to do the shadow piece of the balloon so I can fill it in. Okay, and I'm just going to lay it over top of my image. And again, if my head gets in the way, I apologize. And I'm just going to stamp. This is what I like about this stamp set, because there we go. It fills in nicely. Now I'm going to take my gorgeous grape. I'm going to fill in my basket. All right, and I'm going to fill in my banners. And voila, hot air balloon done. Quick and simple. So now I'm going to go ahead and grab our punch. And when I slide it in, it all lines up. I can punch one time and get both pieces out and ready to be put on my Post-it note holder. All right, so there's my hot air balloon. There is my base piece to put it on. I'm going to go ahead and get a sliver of Whisper White. Now I keep my little Whisper White strips when I trim down my paper. And I'm going to go ahead and I am going to use the saying, "You're off to great places." Now, for my customers, I used a retired stamp from another set that says, "I thank you for your part in my journey," and I just felt that that was a good one to send to my customers. So that was one I did. So that was from one of our old stamp sets that had the paisleys in it. But for this one, I'm going to go ahead and just keep using this stamp set so you guys can see how you can make the whole thing with the one set. I'm going to stamp that. You're off to great places. But I keep all my little white scraps of paper here on my desk. Makes it easy when I want to do things like this. I'm going to go ahead and flag the ends with my tailored tag punch. Whoops. tried to do it left-handed, and that was my mistake. I should not have done that. And one. And two. All right, so there's my banner. That's done. So we can put that punch away. All right, so we can go ahead and make our Post-it note holders. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to use dimensionals on my hot air balloon and my little basket. So we have our regular Stampin' dimensionals. And we have our mini Stampin' dimensionals, which is the perfect size for the basket. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and put a hot air balloon piece on. Sorry, I know my table is shaking. So I got a new camera set up, and my new camera setup is actually on my work table, which I'm not used to. So I have to think about that. I used to have it on a table next to me, and then if I shook my table, it didn't really matter. So hopefully it's not too shaky for you guys. All right, so there's my hot air balloon, and then I'm going to put my little banner right there. So let's go ahead and get our tiny dimensionals and put one on one end and one on the other end. And this piece is done. All right, so I have that piece done and ready to go. So let me go ahead and move my Stampin' Pierce mat. All right, so now we're gonna make the Post-it note holder base, okay? So I have fooled around with some measurements here to make the easel. So what I did for this size, which I think is a perfect size for your desk, if you take one Post-it note holder pad, okay, and I have one of the industrial cutters, and I cut it in half, then I get these fun strips. Okay, and really I have found that for me, that's all I need. So they're really nice, and then they fit right inside your Post-it note holder. So your dimensions on this is you're going to cut a piece of cardstock that is 3 1/8 by 7 1/8. Okay, then you're going to turn it this way. You're going to score it at 2 1/4, 2 5/8, 3 3/4, and 4 7/8. So yes, I did already score this. So now I'm going to fold it. And again, here are my dimensions. So I'm going to go ahead and fold it. And then I'm going to get my bone folder and I'm going to burnish it really good. I hope everybody is doing great, getting some stuff done during this time that we're at home. I know I've made the best of it, and I've gotten a lot of stuff done. Okay, so now I've gone ahead and creased all my folds. Now this one here, okay, the 2 5/8 and the 3 3/4, I'm going to go ahead and fold inside, so it looks like that. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and burnish that because we are going to glue this shut right here. Okay, so we're going to put a little bit of glue in the big side, not the little side with the bump, but the big side. Okay, and we're going to glue that down. All right, we want to make sure that that sticks really well. So use a nice, use liquid glue or use tear and tape and burnish that down really good. Okay, because that's what's going to make our easel. Okay, so we're going to let that sit for a minute. And you want to go ahead and you want to cut a piece of designer series paper, 3 by 2 1/8. Okay, so I was cutting the best dressed paper. I love the paper. I love the grape with the flowers. What other prints do I have here? I have cut the grape with the flowers. I have cut the stripe piece, and this also has the posy in it. And that's what I used on a lot of my Post-it note holders. So again, this piece is going to be cut 3 by 2 1/8. All right, and we're just going to adhere that one to here. And if you wanted to, you could also adhere it down here. You've got plenty of room if you want to go ahead and do 2. But your post-it notes are going to be here. So I don't know if you want to cover that up, but that's totally up to you. I'm just going to go ahead and put it on the top. All right, so I'm just going to get some of my snail adhesive here. Oh. All right, put that on my paper. On the back that has the cute perfume bottle. I really like this pack of paper. I've used it for a lot of stuff. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to put that there. Nice. All right, we are going to get some of our tear and tape for our post-it notes. So let me go ahead and do that. Trying to find the beginning. There it is. All right, because we want a nice strong tape to keep that base down. And again, this is just your regular 3x3 post-it notes, and they are cut in half. All right, so we'll go ahead and do that. Let me get a picker to pick my backing off. Okay. Yeah. Again, sorry I shook the camera. I really need to get used to this setup. The more videos I make, the more used to it I'll get. So I apologize. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and place that in there and hold that down really good. So see, then you can sit. You can have your easel sitting just like that on your desk. And you get to see the cute hot air balloon. So let me go ahead and put some dimensionals on the back of this. 1, 2, I'm just gonna go ahead and put 4 on there. 3, and oh, apparently I'm going to use 5 because it came off, and that's fine. All right, so like I said, I made a whole bunch of these, and they were pretty quick to make once I started stamping and not talking while I was stamping. Anyhow, there we go. So it folds flat, so you can go ahead and put it in a cello bag and mail it. I mailed them out with our swap cards from our card swap group, and then I just went ahead and mailed the ones to my other customers that were not a part of my swap card group. But there we go. So there is our easel post-it note holder. And, you know, you can refill these. So when you run out of the last one, the backing is still on here. Just take a new pad, put some adhesive on, and then go ahead and restick it, and it'll stay nice on your desk. So it's a great little favor to make for your friends. So again, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you make some too. So once again, thank you for watching. This is Randy from Randy's Crafty Creations. I'll see you soon, and have a great day. Bye.